All right, guys. Hello and welcome. Production, please. Production. Okay, there we go. Picks and bans coming up here. It's going to be Hi-Fi facing off against Turnip Esports in this quarterfinal matchup, Hindu.
Yep, quarterfinal match between Hi-Fi and Turnip Esports. Hi-Fi, once again, we're going to be tuning in with as they're on the march and doing very well and very quick with their games. So we're able to bring them. And Turnip Esports, a team that had the sponsorship of Turnip given to them last split, are looking to make headway this season. But to do that, they're going to have to take on the boys at Hi-Fi. It's not going to be an easy task.
That is for sure. We'll see what they can do in this one. Bans already done. Sylvanas Gab banned out by Hi-Fi. Turnip Esports taking Bologna Thor off the table. So, really valuing that support ban with that Athena first pick locked in as well. There's a couple Guardians left on the table, but Turnip Esports may be pushed into kind of some A, B tier supports that they may not necessarily have at the top of their god pool.
Yeah, indeed, we'll have to see what they do. I mean, like I said, Hi-Fi, Athena picked up across the way. You can see Turnip Esports have locked in Xbalanque and Agni. I really like the Agni pick. He's been a little... Honestly, I feel like Agni's just not picked as often as he should be. He's a top-tier mid laner. He has good matchups against all the other mids for the most part. Poseidon's one of the ones that he kind of goes 50-50 with. But even then, he's still not bad in the late game and can give some great zone control out as well. And talking about Poseidon, he gets locked in too for Hi-Five.
A decent matchup against Agni. If Agni gets kind of caught with his pants down mid Path of Flames, so suddenly you're in the middle of an enemy wave. All he has to do is just touch the Path of Flames, and suddenly the archers are giving you their wrath. So potentially, it's a fairly even matchup. But Poseidon has some counterplay with the cripple coming off the whirlpool is basically what that boils down to. Bacchus gets locked in as well for Turnip Esports. He got a buff a couple patches back, a couple weeks back, whenever it was now. Chug now, provides a decent bit of extra drunkometer. What do you call it? Fullness, drunkenness? I don't know.
Drunkometer, you're right.
Drunkometer. He gets drunk faster, essentially. Which means...
He does. I mean, it means that one chug will allow him to get a stun off from his Belch of the Gods as well. So it allows him to get there a little bit quicker. It doesn't cost as much mana to get his bar all the way up to full, which helps him out quite a bit in the early game. He's not so mana dependent like he used to be. He's one of the stronger ones that you see more in North America than EU. EU tends to favour Ymir if Athena, Geb and Sylvanas are not available for them. That's generally what they're looking for. But now the counter bans coming through, the Odin ban was actually a focus ban there away from Elbro Chacho in case they're trying to run this Athena in the jungle again, which I doubted because they ran home Batz here. So that Odin pick, a bit surprising. But once again, Wolfie, he's locked in. Cabraken.
Indeed, it's going to be the Destroyer of Mountains coming out once again. It worked out pretty good, except for one case where he might have accidentally tectonic shifted himself in under the enemy tower, which may not have been intentional.
Planned. That's what it was. Calculations. And that's going to be the two lineups there. Carly is the final pickup here. So is that going to be a Carly solo against a Cabraken? I'm not sure about that matchup.
Cabraken doesn't get much play to begin with, so it's going to be matchups. A lot of people may not be familiar with them, especially in that solo lane where, again, Cabraken's not played all that much. Looking at the lineup, Agni, Thanatos is probably going to be jungle. Solo Thanatos, I don't know about that. Bacchus, you could say I'm maybe throwing a Guardian over in the solo lane. Bacchus does okay, but then who do they throw support? Support Thanatos, go full kill lane maybe? But then you have the support play from the Athena. I don't know. It's a bit of a rough situation.
I'm just not comfortable with the Kali. I'm not comfortable with the Kali. The reason I'm not comfortable with Kali is because she's very melee heavy to clear the wave out. She's going to have to play this in one respect of what God is similar to her in that lane. Will probably be a Chrono style of play or even a Loki style of play. But let the minions push the tower, then farm them there. Because what's going to end up happening is that if she walks up to the lane, she has to get melee to hit them. And then Cabraken's going to smash her in the face for half her HP. It's going to be a problem.
She does have the instance as well. Cabraken relies reasonably heavily again on the tremors for the wave clear initially. Start clearing the wave with tremors, you pop the incense, he's stunned, his wave clear is gone, and, well, he's now sitting in the middle of the wave with the archers attacking him as well, so played correct. It could be interesting. I don't know if it'll necessarily work, but it'll be interesting.
Not so sure. We'll see, though. Hi-Fi versus Turnip Esports in the quarterfinals of Week 1, North America. We'll be on your screens momentarily as these guys get themselves loaded in. We'll be underway.
Alright guys, hello and welcome back. Sorry for that brief delay. There was a pause to start the game up, but we are here. And we are set and ready to go. It's going to be Hi-Fi facing off against the Production. What the hell are you doing today?
Yep, it's up against Turnip Esports, and early on you can see left-hand side that maybe Ruby will find a scythe. No, they will not, and a quick pull from Bolcher. Make sure there's no aggression there, but high five made up of Wolfie 2032. Playing Cabraken in the solo lane, Xbalanque in the jungle, playing Batz, Bolcher in mid lane we just saw playing Poseidon. Medieval's going to be playing Anhur in the duo lane, along with El Brochacho on Athena. What have Turnip Esports got for us today?
Well, they have a very large man with a very large turkey leg. It's not. It's actually a very large candy cane in this particular instance. But that's Santa Claus Bacchus being played by support, or in the support role by Oh Man. True Blade as the AD carry. Xbalanque. Ruby. Apparently in the things are all over the place. Ruby in the jungle as that Thanatos. Squid as Kali in theory in that solo lane. And finally Keeper of the Rice in the mid lane as Agni.
So early on, nothing too much to write home about. Once again, these 3 early wards from High Five. We saw them do this last game as well that we watched. And they've done the same 3 wards again this game. And you've got to watch out for keep repeating those wards, because if people spot them and get used to them in competitive play, they will be abused a little bit on where the rotations of their wards are. But nothing too much to write home about. It's going to be all interest for me in the Kali versus Cabraken matchup. Agni versus Poseidon will be a farm off. And in the duo lane, Athena and the Anhur should have pretty good push power up against the Bacchus and Xbalanque lane.
And this is interesting right now as well. It looks like Xbalanque is saying, I want nothing to do with solo lane. Neither does Ruby, responding to the early rotation coming out. Xbalanque going to have a slight advantage, but the curious thing is going to be that solo lane. Both these solo laners are going to be getting ultimates online fairly early. It's going to be...
This is just a smart play. I think the reason it's such a good play from the boys of High Five to do that, taunt on the left-hand side does land onto Bacchus for the benefit of the way. But the reason it's a good play is because it means that Xbalanque doesn't want to be there on Batz, right? Because if he gets all inned by a Thanatos and Kali, he's going to have a bad time. So why not just leave lane earlier? Thanatos then has to make the call about staying and putting Kali behind it, hitting level 5 over the Cabraken. Or look for the kill on a Guardian. And that's not necessarily something you really want to try and do early on.
And taking a quick peek over to dual lane. A little bit of a belly flop coming in. Taunt though. Oh man, in a spot of trouble right now. Going to get pulled back in here. Is Xbalanque as well. Looking for the first blood. It's going to go on to the 80 carry. That's the one you wanted on early. What does he have for items? It's going to be the Devourer's Gauntlets. We keep talking about that Heartseeker Devourer's Gauntlets. First blood means the Devourer's Gauntlets are going to be online quite a bit ahead of that Heartseeker.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, it's a good rotation from Xbalanque as well. That fight was all forced by High Five. They knew that they had support coming, so even if they lost 1, they would be able to claim 2 in response to that engagement, and a good presence of mind from them. Checking in with the solo lane once again. Wolfie just below half HP, but sticking away on those potions is he. And Squid, as expected, he's going to be doing a lot of farming under this tower for the most part. Just keep an eye at level 5, because that's when we can see the action. Wolfie has just dinged that right now.
It's one of these things that, solo lane tends to be a bit of an island. We can just kind of focus, watch this match play up. This is one I have not seen before personally. There's the Tremors. There's the Incense immediately by Squid to interrupt it. So Wolfie's having a little bit of a rough time with that wave clear. Gonna look for some aggression. Tectonic Shift is available, but Squid can just pop the Nimble Strike, leap straight on over those walls.
He can, but if Wolfie times the stun correctly at the same time as Tremors, he can make sure.
Vulture comes out with that Kraken. Fear No Evil was dropped down by Xbalanque as well to help that one out. That's going to be kills. Mid-Harpy spawn. It looks like High Five going to be in position to secure both sides right now.
Yeah, mid-Harpies are going to be available. Right ones go down in favour of High Five, and the less have already been dropped. Now they might look for Agni mid lane. As you can see, the aggression coming out from from Brochacho. Not going to fight the taunt, no thanks to the dash. And 2-0 is the lead for High Five. And once again, mid-Harpies go to them like we said. So it's 1,500 gold, 1,400 gold, 1,500 experience lead.
That's a nice little lead for those guys. It's going to play out, well, I don't want to say it's going to play out. That's a misspoken word on my part. We don't know how it's going to play out. But if history repeats itself, High Five, the last time we saw them, got a strong early game lead and just completely ran away with it.
He's gone up. He's looking for Wolfie. The donkey's on its way down after the stun as well. Still survives though with the barest amount of HP. Actually jumps in. Does Squid there. Takes an extra tower shot for his trouble. Doesn't panic though. And pop destruction. So gets away and survives to live to fight another day. Good play coming out from Turnip Esports to pick up Wolfie there.
I'm definitely liking the play in this lane. Kali, at least in this particular instance, seems to be working well against Cabraken. Shutting down the Tremors with that Incense stun. Nimble Strike to leap out of any possible Tectonic Shift shenanigans from the Cabraken ultimate. You still have to worry about the damage, you still have to worry about the potential double stun from Wolfie, but Kali seems to be, or at least Squid on that Kali seems to be holding his own.
Yeah, he's doing okay. I mean, that was really just the Thanatos gang that really flipped them around. I don't think Kali could have picked up the kill solo there, just because of the sons of the CC that he could have had out. Speed buff's coming up, though. Grishank's in position to try and steal this one away. Has Fado Evil available. Squid spots it, though, and so does Grishank. So the engagement attempt at steal goes to the wayside for the time being.
Taking a peek at the items, Devourer's Gauntlets are already 10 stacks ahead on Medieval. Heartseeker, still just, it's built, so it's going to be one of those stacks as well, but even slash, basically even with that little bit of a stack advantage. Traveler Shoes online for Athena. Any little abilities coming out doing damage going to be a little bit of extra gold in Alphachacho's pockets, as well as some extra health regen, essentially a multi-potion worth of health restoration. Constantly in effect when he is not in combat, plus some extra movement speed, which, let's face it, is never a bad thing in Smite.
A little bit of aggression coming from Grishank there. He's going to get poked a little bit from the lash coming out once again from Squid on this Kali solo. Build-wise, nothing too much excited to write home about. Everything pretty much as to be expected. The only difference is, once again, Devos versus Heartseeker. And I think for quite a while, this is going to be the what is the correct build to be going for.
That's going to be the question for sure. There's a lot of debate going back and forth. What's more viable? What's safer? Heartseeker? I don't know. I'm favoring Devourer's Gauntlets personally.
Big fight left coming in. Expect this one to be big as well. Thanatos is still in the air as well. Taunt misses from Brochacho. Haste was looking around there too. And now you're going to see some aggression from Grishank. Not going to find anything. I said haste and I apologise. It's Vulture. My bad, mixing up Noble and High Five.
Green Noble beads using the mid lane, keep it Rice, taking a lot of damage. Kraken coming out, going to secure that one. Ruby dropped down from that hovering death, trying to answer back a little bit. Staying alive, going to pop some more damage on the Vulture, heal up a little bit with that Death Scythe. But mid Harpies again, it looks like High Five have set themselves up for a double pick. Right side in that solo lane though. Wolfie found a solo kill onto Squid.
I said that's what I expected to go in that lane, honestly. Overall, the amount of CC that Cabraken's got can shut down Kali. For being able to really do anything up against it, it's just going to cause too many issues for them. Both Harpies already down, and you can see the Turnip Esports a little bit late to the left. One's going to find Athena back in. Not going to be able to catch anything onto it, though. 4-1 for the boys of High Five.
Yeah, thinking about it as well, you know, talking back and forth how that matchup works, how I haven't really played it personally, haven't really seen it either. The Guardians are kind of the answer to the Warriors, kind of work okay, slash Assassins have some good matchups against Warriors, so how do we deal with the Assassins? We just go even more tanky with the Guardian pickups. And in this particular instance, Kali, you know, early on, before the tankiness really starts to come online, has a little bit of advantage. Silver Breastplate was just picked up, which means even less damage coming out from that Kali. Squid is really just going to have to farm up for now.
The thing with Guardians is that most of the Guardians that you'll see get played are the ones that have decent amounts of CC, and Guardians for the most part are very good against in-hand gods that rely on auto attacks that can really shut them down and stop them getting out that damage. Kali is all about those in-hands. Mid lane though, once again we're going to see Ruby get dropped down this time round as Bacchus is there to support. They're not going to find a killing response. Fano Evil comes out, and now we're going to also see Keeper the Rice fall to Brochacho. So Brochacho falls to Keeper the Rice, but there's a Kraken!
The Kraken will be enough. Vulture finds that kill. Keeper the Rice was waiting on cooldowns to go in and secure that kill on the Vulture, but just chased a little bit too far. Vulture's cooldowns came up first, and well, we just saw how that one ended. Wolfie's making rotation over, trying to find one more. We'll find the stun of Squid. Double stunning will be just a split second too early.
So much burst though. You've got not below half health with 2 abilities, right, pretty much there. And now they're going to be able to look for the Gold Fury because Wolfie's rotating all the way over. They know Kali's not in a position to do anything left on side. Anhur trading off against Xbalanque. Xbalanque is not aware of Wolfie's rotation. He will be in a second. Now that he stepped on the ward and Wolfie's having to juke back on himself, it's going to be Bacchus too.
Impaled into the wall, True Blade, now to spot trouble. Hovering Death coming down for the stun from Thanatos. Medieval finds one. Ruby answers straight on back. It's a 1-for-1 as the fight does continue. Oh man, running for his life. No more mana in reserve. He's going to be forced to just kind of hang back and not really do much of anything. But Keeper the Rice comes to rotation. Ruby getting caught out. Wolfie will fall to Thanatos. Brochacho's looking for a little bit more. Gershank's here now.
Grishank is it. Good Aegis usage by Keeper the Rice there to stop the overhand smash. Poseidon on the backside though. Vulture might be looking for cleanup. Not going to find anything for the time being. Wolfie went back in looking for the kill. Did not find it, unfortunately. They didn't have the damage potential to bring him down. And so Wolfie fell to the wayside there. I think they got a little bit mixed up on where they should really go. Like they had multiple targets to choose. And it was like, no, we need to get out. And then it was just too late.
This is going to be cute. This entire game right now, High Five are not running away with this one quite like we saw in the previous couple games. They're getting slow leads. When the back of the fight, the gold and experience build dipped back down just a little bit. So
but that's an issue, Zidane. That's a big issue that they're not running away with. The reason being, look at the lineup: Kali, Xbalanque, Agni, those 3 gods, and then take into account Bacchus as well. Bacchus' damage late game is very, very strong, cause a lot of issues. Talking about Bacchus left on the side, going aggressive on medieval here.
Yeah.
Nothing more though.
Yeah.
True
player is like, I want to go shopping, but I'm going shopping. I'm going to back. I want to finish my Assy. I want to have lifesteal. Otherwise, I am pretty much at the mercy of the poke from medieval. With Assy online, he'll have that sustain. He'll have a lot of sustain as well once he drops below 25%. The one concern though is it's Heartseeker. You die, you lose half of your stacks. You can see that stack differential. It's 61 Devourer's Gauntlets to 29.
Mid lane Feno, evil, Kraken comes out too. The hovering death is in the sky. Who's he gonna dunk on? It's gonna be Grishak. They might look for Brochacho as well. Ruby chasing him deep. Dashes away the Pieta strike. Great impale from medieval, but he just pushes him towards Brochacho. The Whirlpool's doing so much work. Brochacho lives, but for how long?
Not long enough on that one, because the poison from Xbalanque will find that kill. Squid finds one more as well into medieval. That was just a 4-for-1 fight, and now they're turning their attention to this Gold Fury. Wolfie is here, but it's about to be a 4v1 again. Can he do anything about this?
He's only got available to him a little bit of abilities. He's going to get hit by the Batch of the Gods, which is going to stun him out. There's a stun follow-up as well from Agni. They're bursting down the Gold Fury. The Tremors are doing some work for Wolfie, but it's not going to be enough to stop them doing the Gold Fury. I think there was a missed hog there. No, there wasn't. I got excited. But Wolfie did get a kill. What the hell?
It was just chasing down Keeper of the Rice. He was zoning out, keeping him busy. But now Hi-Five are looking to turn this one back around into a number of kills. They're going to find Squid as well. 2 kills for Gold Fury. On the back of 4 kills before that. That's still a pretty big overall victory for Turnip Esports. You can see the gold difference and experience difference is almost back to neutral on both sides of that graph. So Turnip right now are turning on the fire, looking to get this game back to even. They want this one.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of it as well. I mean, we said they're not running away with it at Hi-Five this game, and you got to watch for the late game. But what happened there was Hi-Five dive mid-tower, looking for the big kill with the Fear No Evil, with the Kraken. Kraken pretty much whiffed after the Fear No Evil, and then the turnaround from Ruby coming in with the Hovering Death just cleaned them all up for the most part. It was great work from Medieval to try and keep his teammates alive, but it just wasn't enough to keep them from losing the Gold Fury as well.
It's going to be a factor. We were touching on before those fights kind of broke out. The late game comp by Turnip Esports is going to be a major factor. Xbalanque, arguably one of the best hyper carries in the game, just due to the fact that with the branching bolas, he's potentially hitting for an extra 60% damage. Darkest Knight's coming to the left side, linked to kill from Medieval. Looks like Medieval should be able to get away. Gonna miss the impale. That could spell his death.
No, he won't. He should spell his death. If he can land the last goal, not going to find it. Going to have the chase potential to pick that one up. It's a shame. If he could have landed that last in hand now, would have been curtains by the looks of it for Medieval.
A couple guys lurking nearby.
Oh no, that's too early.
There's a good death scythe. Not a great.
That saved the day.
But he
saved the day. Saved the day. That was unfortunate. I actually think the Medieval, if he just continued back, and he might have been able to back there just before the Belch of the Gods hit him, but he made the correct call, unfortunately, and the Death Scythe was just on point. Hovering Death was not, however, but mid Harpies once again. Grishank's in position, going to take them before he gets hit by that bomb. Right one's going to spawn soon after.
Let's see, so far this matchup, Hi-Five have been doing a good job securing both sides of these camps. Right side this time, it is going to be picked up by Turnip Esports, so at least entering 1-for-1 on those mid-Harpy camps. Taking a look at things otherwise, a bit of a brawl going on in the Soul Lane right now. Wolfie using the Tremors, Tectonic Shift is available. Rotation coming out right now by Turnip Esports. They're not going to be able to catch Wolfie, who's able to back off just enough. Plus, with his 1, he gets a pretty nice movement speed boost out of that.
I mean, even if they do catch him, he's got Breastplate of Valor finish now, so he's going to be so tanky. There's not that much penetration on the side just yet of Turnip Esports. I mean, at the moment, Thanatos does have Jotuns as well. Obviously, he's going to have the passive available from his Scent of Death, but he's not actually maxed that yet, so he's still only at 15 penetration. Left side.
2v1. Trueblade doing a good job blocking this one out. Defender Olympus forced that onto Medieval. Trueblade is going to be forced to run away. There's the death marker from Thanatos. He's up in there. Is he going to be able to find the execute this time? Medieval has
too far away.
Too far, indeed. Maybe he can drop down and look for kills.
Yeah, they're going to try and get the bomb off damage, and Trueblade's going to secure that first kill. Rotation for Vulture, looking to try and turn this one around, though. Immediately uses the Rising Dagger to disengage, but the Kraken is going to get ageist out there, and Trueblade finds himself a double kill. It was Trueblade overextended, cut out of position, did a good job of surviving, and a fantastic rotation from his team. High five! In a bit of trouble here.
They are. Wolfie is going to be able to answer back to the tier 1 tower in that solo lane. That'll potentially free him up to roam around the map just a little bit more. He has teleport online as well, so he can join a team fight across the map if necessary. Squid on Kali doesn't have that, but Kin Size did just come online. It's nerfed from what we saw back in Season 1. It's less attack speed and only 4% of maximum health as opposed to the 5% that it was. But it's still a very potent item, especially on Kali, who has a very, very fast attack chain.
Yeah, it is still good. It just takes so long to get online is the issue. But once you get to that stage, that's when you can keep an eye on Squid on this Kali. Already 2-2-1 in this game. Just keep an eye on him. The one benefit that you get from playing solo lane Kali or a solo lane sort of somebody that needs a hyper carry build, playing it in the solo lane allows you to get that farm that's desperately needed that you won't necessarily get in the jungle. I say that, but Thanatos is 200 gold ahead.
Sometimes a lot of that is off the fact that he's 4-3 and 7.
Oh, Ruby's dead. Ruby gets caught out with Inferno Evil straight away. Even Athena was coming in as well with El Brochacho to make sure they secure that one. They're going to start to put pressure on the towers. A high five now. They realise the clock is ticking and it's not ticking favourably for them. They need to make something happen. And with the Gold Fury coming up, Zayden, this is the right sort of play they need to make.
Oh, they're gripping up. They have quite a few wards in the inventory right now of Turnip Esports. They're almost treating this as a fire giant fight. They want to get vision everywhere, make sure no one's rotating around a corner, looking to catch them off guard. Gold Fury swooping in, left side of the screen right now. We'll see how quickly they look to go for this one, or if they look for bait. They know this is coming in right now. They have this area warded up very, very heavily. They're not going to be cutting caught out, but Wolfie's looking for that attack speed buff steal while Medieval's taking the opportunity to start the Gold Fury.
Yeah, this is good because Wolfie's going to keep them busy and keep them distracted, but Squid's aware of what's going on, and he's around here too. Meanwhile, Wolfie trading out with Trueblade at the moment and taking off too much damage. He's getting poked down, has to run dash away, but still the Kraken comes out, doesn't really connect again, and now the overextension of Keeper of the Rice. He's going to get punished.
Thanatos is up near the middle. Look at the engagement. Greenery will drop down. Squid taking a lot of damage. Going to be forced into that destruction. Ruby now 1v4 getting burst down and out on that one. Oh man, coming around just a little too late to save his life. Medieval finds another one with that Desert Fury. The fight is on, but Tie 5 are running away with this fight.
Yeah, Rising Jackery does come out for decent damage back, but good impale from Medieval brings him down. Bacchus can only Fat Man jump around with his candy cane as Wolfie teleports back in. This is going to be all on him to defend the Gold Fury. It might not be even worthwhile. Wolfie's just going to zone it, I think.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be more or less for free on the back of that big fight by High Five. The beginning and the end of that fight was Keeper of the Rice getting caught out overextended. He went forward with the Path of Flames, realized he was in a bad spot, looked to turn around. Wolfie popped the Tectonic Shift immediately. He wasn't going anywhere. Then after that, Thanatos came in, admittedly found a beautiful 4-man stun off that Hovering Death, but then was in a 1v4 fight and immediately was just burst down again.
Well, the problem was there was no follow-up after Ruby got in there. That was the biggest issue. He had the engage that was perfect for them, but Agni was already dead. Agni was the big AoE damage dealer they've got for this game. And if he goes down, well, what they got to follow up? A knock up and intoxicate maybe. Maybe Squid can get in the mix, but Squid didn't get in there as well as he would like to. And that fight just went back in favour of High Five again. And now Turnip Esports' work is on once again because the gold experience lead from that fight jumped massively.
Indeed, it's a 3,800 gold lead, 5,400. There's numbers involved. 5,600 now experience lead, go in favor of High Five. It's a pretty big little spike for those guys. It's a significantly huge spike, bring us to the highest golden experience differences of the game so far. Turnip Esports in position for the right side Harpies right now. They're not out of this one yet. And we talked about the comps earlier on in this matchup. Turnip Esports have a lot of late game pressure, but they can't let High Five start getting their hands on around this one.
Oh, they're not going to actually find him. They use Defender of Olympus there to try and get it over here to pick up Ruby, but now it's going to be a 3v3 fight torn from Brochacho, but Silence Fear No Evil as well. They're trying to secure the buff and turn their attention to Squid. That is in the sky. Who's going to go on?
He's going to go on a couple guys, find those stuns. Oh man, now in a bit of a bad spot. The walls from Cabraken actually blocking him out, but he's able to sneak his way through. Belly flop over the wall to the safety of that tier 2 tower. In the backline is Ruby, low in health, going to try and use that Scent of Death to run away, but Xbalanque with that somersault, able to close the gap and find that kill.
Grishang played that really well, actually, because instead of trying to go for his full combo straight away, he waited for the death scythe. He made sure he juked the damage potential from the Thanatos, then engaged. They're looking for the Fire Giant now. No hunters are available for this engagement here, and the fight is a bad call from Hi-5. It's a terrible call.
It is. Oh, man's going to get killed. Fire Giant cleans one up. Wolfie answering back right now. The Fire Giant is about to be reset. It went all sorts of places. It looked like Hi-5 had completely thrown in that one, but it ended up being a 2 for 3.
It was a 2 for 3. I'm really surprised Hi-5 got away with that, honestly. Like, with Agni still alive, and with Squid there, and the Bacchus, I expected that to go awfully in their favour. Potentially even give the Fire Giant over to Turnip, but Wolfie, Vulture come out on top. Wolfie's not had enough yet, he wants more. He smells blood. Squid's in trouble, has to stun. Wolfie gonna have no more chase from that now. 20 minutes in. It's still everyone's game.
Left side of the map, Trueblade almost looking to dive onto Medieval. The back and forth fight in this duo lane, Hunter's going at it non-stop. Medieval has not had much luck pinning Trueblade. He's staying right in the middle of the lane, which is too far away unless he, Trueblade is basically positioning himself perfectly to avoid getting impaled into any walls. That means that Medieval has to land a pillar combo, which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. When Trueblade pillar comes up, I pop my Rising Jaguar, I move off to the side, and suddenly I'm not getting stunned, and then the fight is basically mine because the Shifting Sands is down, I'm not in it, and he doesn't have an impale to follow up with.
Well, Jungle Cup's been taken down by Turnip. Mid-Harpies have been dropped by Hi-5 here. Still only that one tower down on the map at 20 minutes on the right-hand side. As the teams are starting to vie for position again, with the Golf Fury being down, it's Fire Giant most of them will be looking for attention of. The Hunters, for the most part, those haven't been left to their own devices now.
Yeah, a lot of farm coming out for those guys, and look at the gold difference. It's not really that much. It's a small 300 gold advantage. That's beads. That's the only difference on the Hunters right now. Some slightly different build options, admittedly. Actually, an Athena coming online as well from Medieval. That's a little bit more unusual. In addition to the Devourer's Gauntlets, a lot of lifesteal.
Currently sat around with Grishang waiting in this duo lane here now for the gank. And there is a Rising Jaguar, forcing beads out. He's trying to chain the kill at least, but the leap is going to buy him a second. A second, not enough though. There's the overhand, and there's the sustain coming out from Asi. And now it's Grishang who's in trouble, and the team of Turnip Esports are charging in.
Execute going to miss. Looking at the Sunset and the Vulture. Good cracking him for a lot of damage. He's going to use Aegis to avoid any follow-up. Trueblade finds another kill in this engagement. Chacho looking to use that Preemptive Strike to run away. Gershon gets picked up by Squid in the backline of the fight. It's only one member left standing in the side of this fight. Chacho, no more escapes. Is going to get picked up under the tower, which in this particular instance, not offering any safety. Another 4-0 fight going to Turnip Esports. If they can force team fights like this over and over, this game could be theirs.
Trueblade is doing really, really well so far. I want to give a shout out to Hi-5 there because I think that was their mistake again. I just want to point out, like, it was a good play from Turnip and Trueblade, but what happened was Medieval baited a little bit too much and took too much damage on the bait to make sure he forced out the Rising Jaguar, which set up the Fear No Evil from Grishang. In doing so, he then got fully turned up by Trueblade trying to trade 1-for-1, and then the Asi passive kicked in.
That entire fight, I had just finished touching on, it's only a 300 gold lead, that's only beads. It was that beads that set up that fight for Turnip Esports. Beads on that Fear No Evil left side, the Wolfie and Medieval doing a lot of work. Oh man finds Wolfie though. They're going to look for a little bit more. Desert Fury comes out, going to answer one back on the Trueblade, but 1-for-1. Medieval's going to look for one more here, and he finds it.
He can get that. He should be able to get that kill onto Bacchus there. No, maybe not, especially with Agni being in the wings, but now Vulture's on the way too. Are they going to swing on the backside? No, disengage. They're going to go for Golf Fury instead. This should be a call for the Golf Fury. Bacchus has to base here. This should be a free Golf Fury for Hi-5. Just keep them back in the gold lead again after the small mistakes over in that dual lane engagement.
Wolfie gave his life up in that engagement, but it gave his team the Gold Fury in the long run. He, dropped that tectonic shift, caught a bunch of guys, turned to says, hey, we can't leave these two guys alone in a 2v2 fight like this. Unfortunately, when you get people grouped up, Desert Fury from Anhur does a lot of work, as we saw in that fight. Not quite able to find that second kill goal, man. Didn't want to chase too far because Keeper of the Rise was waiting nearby, but they got a Gold Fury at the end of kill at the cost of the solo laner. That's worth it. Well, what I imagine would be anybody's book.
We're back to farming again for now. Blue buffs and speed buff available on the right-hand side of the map for hi-5. Turnip just dropping their blue right now. The Fire Giant, no wall coverage from either team just yet. That needs to be corrected soon from either side. You can see Vulture just sentry warding near those right-hand harpies right now. And with how this season's looking out for North America here, we had a little look at Noble Esports from last season. They look good, but they've got things to correct. We can see hi-5. They're using the substitutes at the moment with Wolfie in there. Thanatos not available. They've got things to correct. And Turnip Esports, they're looking promising. They've still got to keep working.
Right side, a couple ultimates were just forced out up in the air. Finding Vulture, beads used immediately, not going to matter. Intoxicate from O-Man finds that kill. They might look for the middle, might look to disengage. Fury will drop that tectonic shift as well. True Blade bouncing on the backside, trying to buy himself some time for his team to collapse and help him out, but he's going to fall early on in this engagement.
But Bacchus is there as well with the belly flops to set them all up for the silence, and now Carly's in the mix, chunking down that big fat Loki. He's going to finally go down to Squid, but in comes Medieval with the Desert Fury to turn it around.
That was not the mark, which she oh so badly needed in that fight. Health bars are dropping, but who's going to secure this one out? It's looking like it's going to be hi-5. Keeper the Rise answers back on to Keeper onto El Borchacho rather. But, oh man, will fall to Gershank, who gets the triple in that fight. It's looking like it could be a two-man attempt as Fire Giant right now.
Oh, they can do this, no problem.
Yeah. They have sustain on Medieval, for sure.
Was Medieval trying to get him killed? I thought Medieval was trying to like walk it round onto Gershank. That'd have been hilarious. But yeah, Medieval can solo this. He's not going to have any problems doing so on his own. Gershank has to stay away and just watch out. You notice how he walked away then? It looks interesting that he didn't. You were like, why did he walk away and not help him? It was actually to make sure those hot spots didn't appear underneath him, which could have potentially killed him.
I have seen so many hotspots ruin so many even ranked games, casual games. Like, oh, let's kill the Fire Giant. We're 5 melee guys. We can totally stand here surrounding the Fire Giant. Suddenly 5 lava spots pop up and the entire team just like gets decided by the Fire Giant. They played it well. It was a 2-man Fire Giant attempt. They have that belt in hand. And look at the vision on the map. Turnip Esports were prepared for that Fire Giant. 3 sentries down, 2 extra wards. But the fight beforehand just didn't go their way.
Nope, didn't go that way at all. It was a very, very strange little engagement over there, honestly. They did it all in a little pit, and that just set them up for the rings of death in terms of like Krakens, Finno, Evils, Tremors, and all the rest of it. And Medieval, I think, turned up exactly when he was required to, and prioritized his targets very, very well to really turn that fight around for hi-5.
Cabraken has been a huge factor in these fights as well. I think a lot of people, you're used to Odin. You see Odin's like, okay, I have to make sure I'm not quoting his own spears. Cabraken, I think people might not realize, oh, his tectonic rift, yes, we can get through it. But people seem to keep positioning themselves like, oh, we don't have to worry about it. And sometimes, oh, I'm cut off from the rest of my team now. What do? I don't know. Oh, I died. That didn't go well.
Well, only 3 members have the Fire Giant online for hi-5 here, but they're starting to siege down this left-hand side. They need to start extending their gold lead now once again. These towers will help them with that. They'll give them a little bit more experience as well. But we're getting to that sort of stage of the game now where one bad fight could really cost a team big, if not the game. Especially if the side of Turnip Esports, if they lose the next fight, the game could just be over right now.
Yeah, and this, like you said, this could be the beginning of the end. Just one bad fight of the Fire Giant could be a couple towers, if not maybe a Phoenix or 2.
There we go.
Up in the air, looking for Gershank. Did find the stun, but he's going to be out alive. The fight is on.
Yeah, the fight is on. Medieval's doing some good damage to Ruby, who has to back away. Vulture on the backside was looking for a big crack and didn't really find it. Great impale onto Squid, though, from Medieval. Forcing out the ultimate. Squid has already leapt. He's in trouble. Pops the beads. Gonna go down to Gershank with the Athena coming in as well. Now you're going to see Bacchus run for the hills.
He's going to use that belly flop to leap away from this one. Agni finding a good stun, delaying that chase. But right now, this could be a Phoenix. That tier 2 fell in the middle of that fight. They're working on it. Backdoor protection is currently intact. Not anymore as the minions finally arrive. Left side Phoenix will fall. That's the one you want to go down first if you have the choice. This also leaves potentially 3,000 more gold for hi-5 to pick up. There's only 3 members of Turnip Esports to actually try and stop them. They're trying to find a kill.
Oh, there's a mistake. Mistake coming out, and we're going to see Brochecha probably pay with his life here. Medieval's going to have to run away. Luckily, though, Bolcher comes out with a Whirlpool to save. The team split up there. Did you notice? They were going for the tier 2 tower. Some went through the jungle, some path around the back. That's where they got picked nearly. Luckily, they got away with murder, though. And they're going to find a Gold Fury as recompense.
And they still have about a minute on that Fire Giant buff as well, so they can get the Gold Fury, head back to base. Thanatos up near. El Borchacho is currently below that threshold, but will be way too far away to go in. He's going to go for it anyway. Drop down, say, I no longer want to be here, and get chased down. Gershank finds that one as well, plus the Gold Fury for hi-5. Oh man, going to get picked off before he's able to make a retreat anywhere to safety. So a pair of kills, an extra Gold Fury. The two remaining towers on the map may stand beyond the Fire Giant buff's duration, but things right now, hi-5 may finally have gotten the reins to this game.
This was a really good game from Turnip Esports, but hi-5 are pretty much in the driving seat now. It's going to be difficult for Turnip Esports to really get themselves back into it in this position, but they have small amounts of potential with Agni. It's up to Keeper the Rice really with some great setups with the stuns to force some issues, but with the Medjais and the beads available, there's not a whole lot that can stop from Wolfie just tanking up that Phoenix. Now they're looking for the tier 2. But Turnip, honestly, Tyler, they're contenders this year.
Yeah, for sure. Hi-5 did extremely well back in the spring split. We saw them do very well back in the first game. This game, Turnip Esports, some of these other teams are definitely out to play. They're looking for that seeding going forward. It's only a 5-week open tournament bracket this time around. Going week 7, 6-7, it's going to be an 8-team group stage. So if you get top 8, you're good to go. If you don't make that cut, you're kind of out of luck already after week 5. So teams are going to be looking to fight and fight hard to make sure they ensure their spot going forward. Because if these guys, well, let's face it, realistically, who would not want to be sitting at the SWC when that comes up again for the end of Season 2? And if these players want to be sitting there, you don't want to be sitting at the SWC?
No, I'm joking. Of course we'll be sitting there. God, what a silly question to ask.
Hindu.
Silly question. But full builds online for hi-5 now. You can see pretty much everybody is finishing off their final items. And a little look at Wolfie's Cabraken, because it's something we don't see too often in EU that much anyway, solo lane. And you can see that the full build is Breastplate into Ethereal Staff, Soul Reaver, Disgusting, followed by Spirit Robe for those extra protections when you do get hard CC'd.
Yeah, it'll help out. One more Emma pick up down the line. Teleport is available. He can kind of do what he wants and then join a fight whenever he so chooses. Fire Giant has respawned. You can see the kind of dance already beginning to start. hi-5 in position to start this one up whenever they so choose, and well, it will be right now as Medieval and Vulture in the backside of this fight look to start it up. Turnip Esports are not in position to deal with this or try and contest it as they have Firemen swarming down the left and mid lane. This is a rough spot. They have those Firemen to contend with. They're not really going to be able to do much against 5 members storming towards that Phoenix in the right lane in just a couple seconds, but they need to look to make a defense sooner rather than later.
Well, sooner rather than later, but I think it's already over. The back has already been broken of Turnip here. Turnip have done a great job, honestly. They really went at it, but I'm not sure exactly whether or not they can make this one happen. Look at Wolfie, he's just able to tank up this Phoenix for the whole time. The taunt comes out, there's Athena Weaver, Wolfie takes out Trueblade, and there's a big damage dealer down as Ruby has to take to the sky defensively. Maybe they can find Grishang though.
If they couldn't find it, that will be next. It's going to be a 4v5 for a very brief moment right now, but Trueblade falls and he lets a lot of damage off the table. Oh man, going to be brought down by Vulture as well. The Phoenix ends, oh, not really, the Phoenix even standing between them. Firemen have already advanced the Titan, taken down to about 80%. Right side Phoenix is going to fall. They're respawning, but they're really not going to be able to defend this. Like you said, the back may already be broken. hi-5 have a power play for about 30 seconds with those respawn times still ticking away.
Yeah, but Squid's in trouble. He's going to go down as well, and now you can see the taunt onto Keeper the Rice forces the Aegis. It's only going to buy him a second of running into a wall as the flames burst down. The flaming archers take the life of the Titan, and hi-5 do make it through to the semi-finals, but not as easily as I expected.
No, for sure. Turnip Esports definitely gave them a run for their money in this one. The game really came down to just 2 or 3 mispositionings by Turnip Esports, a couple of overextensions. Aside from those, we saw that one fight before the Fire Giant where Trueblade was kind of caught out, separated from his team. He went for the mana buff pit to try and, body blocks, buy himself some time. It didn't work out. There was the fight by the Gold Fury where Keeper of the Rice kind of Path of Flame very, very aggressively, and Ruby followed up immediately, but no one else on the team was there to follow up. The overextensions was really the big standout thing that Turnip Esports are doing wrong. If they reined that in, the rest of the game, they played very, very well.
Yeah, maybe the overextensions a little bit. I mean, hi-5, I don't think played to their fullest potential. They actually I felt like hi-5 turned up the heat a little bit more when they realized that they were up against it for a moment. I think they were on cruise control and then put into an extra gear, but that could really come back to haunt them if they keep doing that time and time again. And teams like Noble Esports, they should take credit in what they did there, forcing hi-5 to play a lot better than they would have liked to and keep the pressure on. But a couple of cleanup things here and there, I can definitely see a lot of potential on the side of Turnip Esports for the rest of this season and this split.
Well, with that said, guys, that's going to wrap up things here for the quarterfinals. hi-5 will be moving on once again. Turnip Esports, they'll have themselves some seeding points going into week number 2. But for now, we're going to cut to a quick little break, let you guys listen to more of that Monster Cat, maybe some of that other music that I may have interrupted before oh so rudely. We'll see what happens with that here in just a moment.